Hey guys, I'm just going to show you the portable I just built last night. First of all, I'll show you the flaws because it is very flawed. Area of the joystick is burnt a little bit by a soldering iron. I had a problem with the joystick being, not this joystick, I had an original N64 controller in there with a GameCube joystick and I had a problem with it, not hitting the edge correctly. And no matter which way I mounted it, it would never work. So I tried to burn the holes around to make it wider, and it ended up not looking so good, so I stopped before it got worse. And then I just put in this PS1 analog stick with a third-party Yobo controller. Second of all, I was drilling the holes for these tack switches, and they weren't tall enough, so I had to put them on top. Also, I was drilling one right there, because there was just going to be 3 in a row right like this, instead of spaced out. And it screwed up the case a lot there, so I put epoxy there, and then I had to repaint it, and I missed some spots right there because I taped it all off, because at that point everything was mounted. Same with these two bottom ones. Case is decent, probably one of my best cases, even with the flaws. Same with the switch. I had a bigger switch in there, but it failed, and I had to put in a smaller switch because I didn't have another big switch, and I had to cover it in hot glue. I'll paint that later, though. Here's the reset button. This currently is L because these are supposed to be swapped. This is Z, but that's supposed to be Z, and this is supposed to be L. I'll switch those later. So this is Z right now, and this is L. This is R. This is the charge port. And on the side there's a speaker hole. There's only one speaker. These are the volume buttons if I haven't said so. These are the screen controls. Joystick, D-pad start, A, B, C buttons. Nothing on that side except for the, same thing with the epoxy thing. On the back there's this hole right here. There was supposed to be a memory card slot for that, but like I said with the controller, it just didn't want to fit in there. Nothing else in the back. The cartridge slot is in right here. It's all done and stuff. And it's quite thin, except for the part where the expansion pack is. That's probably only about an inch. So here's that. Goes in the bottom. No, doesn't fall out. You can shake it. This is probably only barely charged. I had to swap out the batteries because the batteries didn't want to work, so I had to swap them out, and they weren't charged, the ones that I put in there, so they're not that charged. I'll just switch it on now and show you it's working. Takes a bit to boot up because of the EverDrive. Just takes a bit to boot up. Not that bad of a problem though. Gets quite loud. Although we don't need it to be that loud. Joystick works fine, as it should. Come on, get out of here. Kind of hard to play with one hand, so I'm not going to do my best. I'm also not going to do a button test because I don't really need to. If you've ever made a portable before, you know that. Why would I put in a button that's not working? I haven't actually tried the reset button. Let's see if it works. Apparently it does. Yeah, that's pretty much my portable. I'm going to turn it off before it dies because I got to charge it before I go to work. So that's my portable. And it's very small. Actually, here, let me compare it to the size of my old portable. You'll have to excuse my room. It's kind of messy because I've been modding since, I don't know, forever. As you can see, there's a substantial size difference. Actually, this kind of looks big too. It's actually not that big. This one though makes, in size comparison to this makes this look like a behemoth. and it actually is quite a behemoth. But it's got a 7-inch screen, so you can't complain. I'd show you a comparison to a N64 console, but mine's hooked up over there, and I don't really feel like unhooking it. Here's an Xbox 360 controller right on top of it. And here's an Xbox 360 controller on top of this one. See, they're not that big. That's the thickness of the unit. Let me just go like that. It's about as thick. So, really, you can't complain with this unit. This is really as small as they ever need to be. But, next one's going to be smaller. So I'll post this on the forums now.